Topic clusters are basically a smart way to create and present content in a structured and strategic way. And they can be great for your website, they can be great for your users, they can be amazing for SEO. And I'm going to show you 3 examples of topic clusters that are working really well for sites right now. Before we get into the examples, I did a video recently on what topic clusters are and how to build them. So if you'd like to see that, I'll link to that up here somewhere. And let's get into the examples. Okay, so this first example is from Drift, who rank very well for the term chatbots. And this is their chatbots guide. So this is their pillar page. And you'll notice down the left-hand side here, the way they have this page structured is they're linking off to their cluster pages via this little sub-menu here. And you'll see they've got subheadings. So for example, how do chatbots work? They've then got some brief text which goes into it, but not in huge detail, just enough to explain briefly how chatbots work. And then they link off to the cluster page, which they're also doing over here. So they're using internal linking contextually as well. So they've got these subheadings, some brief text, they're linking off to relevant cluster pages, and you'll see it's a fairly long page, but it doesn't go into huge detail, just enough to cover everything about chatbots, but then everything such as types of chatbots and the benefits and so on are all covered within these cluster pages. And if we dive into one of these cluster pages, so in this example we're looking at how does a chatbot work, you'll see it's a much more detailed page about how a chatbot works, and then they're linking back to their pillar page with relevant anchor text, in this case chatbot. If we look at another example of a cluster page, here we've got how to create a chatbot, and again a lot more in depth. And you'll see here they're linking back to the pillar page with the anchor text chatbots. And if you look further down in the article, you'll see they're also doing a bit of cross-linking in some of these cluster pages where they're linking to other cluster pages. But in terms of linking back to the pillar page, you see they have 9 cluster pages here. So you'd think maybe they don't have too much internal linking coming back to the pillar page if they're only linking from these. But if you actually run a crawl and look at how many pages are linking back to the chatbot's pillar page, there's actually 109 pages linking back to that pillar page. So where are most of these links coming from? Well, as well as the cluster pages, a lot of those links are coming from blog posts. So if we look at this example here, this is a blog post about personalization. So it doesn't necessarily fit directly within that topic cluster about chatbots, because it's not just about chatbots, it's a general article about personalization, but it is very relevant to chatbots. Personalization obviously very relevant to chatbots. So they do talk about chatbots in here, and therefore they link back to it. So you'll tend to find these days topic clusters look a bit more like this. So you have your pillar page in the middle, your cluster pages around the outside there, the larger grey circles, but then you also have a lot of this supporting content around the outside, in this case in the form of blog posts, that's also linking into your cluster, further supporting that topic cluster with internal links. Okay, so let's look at example number 2, and this one is from Search Engine Journal. At the time of recording this, they actually had the featured snippet for link building, so obviously a very competitive term. And this is a slightly different structure of pillar page, but still a very good one. So if we have a look down here, you see they've structured things into subheadings and they link off to different areas of link building. And then a bit further down, they have this chunk of text here, a brief overview of link building, one subheading, some bullets, and a small FAQ with 2 questions. So you wouldn't necessarily look at this and think, oh wow, this content's amazing, it's a really thorough piece about link building, because it's quite brief, but it says enough to explain the basics of link building, but then it does a very good job as a pillar page of linking off to relevant articles related to link building. And if we look at one of these pages as an example, you can see in this case, unlike Drift, they're using breadcrumb here to link back to their main guide, their pillar page. And again, they're using internal linking quite well. And if we scroll down towards the bottom here, you can see they're using the anchor text building quality links, and they're using a relevant contextual link to link back to the pillar page. And if we look at another example here, you see again they're using the breadcrumbs there, and in this case they're actually linking contextually very high up, again varying up the anchor text, in this case using link building to link back to the pillar page. But again, as with the drift example, they're not just relying on the topic cluster siloed on its own, they're also relying on supporting blog content to help bolster that topic cluster. So in this example, they have a post about list building, so it doesn't necessarily fit directly within the cluster, but it is very relevant to link building because they built this piece of content around SaaS link building. And if we have a look towards the bottom of the page, you can see here they've got this more resources area, and then they're linking to link building guide. So they're just using an area at the bottom in this case to link back to the pillar page. And in this example, again, it's something that doesn't necessarily fit directly within the cluster. It's talking about SaaS link building, but it is still very, very relevant. And you'll see here, they're again linking back with a different anchor, linking back to the cluster page. So again, we're seeing this sort of setup with your pillar page, your cluster pages around that, but also supporting blog content linking into that topic cluster. And then finally, we have this example from CoSchedule. They have a topic cluster around marketing. And you can see here, they have a fairly in-depth bit of content around marketing and a table of content with jump links. So they go into what is marketing, they go into B2B, B2C, and so on. And it's quite well designed as well, so easy to read. They've got a lot of internal linking going on there, some of it to cluster pages as well. And you can see down the left hand side they've gone slightly along the lines of drift here, so you can see they're linking off via a submenu on the left hand side here, off to the purpose of marketing, the goals of marketing, pricing strategy, and so on. There's quite a lot there as well. So the cluster as a whole goes really in depth. And if we have just a look at a couple of examples of cluster pages, again, you can see they've got relevant internal linking going back to the pillar page. And they've also got some cross-linking going on here as well. So they're linking to the purpose of marketing here and back to the pillar page here as well. So a lot of internal linking going on as well. So overall, a really good topic cluster. And there you have it, 3 great examples of topic clusters. If you've come this far, please like, subscribe, and all that jazz. Apparently it helps my videos with the YouTube algorithm, and it also gives me a little bit more street cred with my kids. Hopefully one day they think I'm as cool as Preston. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope it helped. Don't forget to leave a comment. What was your favorite example? Do you have any examples of topic clusters that you've seen that you really like? Let us know in the comments, and I'll speak to you soon.